food lovers. Today we're going to have a closer look to a beautiful North African spice mix called Zaatar. I'm Wes, welcome to the Spice Files. This is a spice mix that already existed in ancient Egypt. They even found some in the tomb of Tutankhamen. And this is a very interesting blend because you can use it in so many ways. It is often used as a finishing spice. It can be sprinkled over your salads, meats, or any dish you like. It is also a great mix to make your marinade. So let's have a closer look to all these spices. The most basic spice blend has three major spices, which is sesame seeds, thyme. The traditional recipe needs serpulum thyme, which is a wild thyme that's also called creeping thyme or elfin thyme. But if you can't find that, use the regular thyme. The third major ingredient is sumac. It's a fruit from the rush tree. It's dried and ground. It has a tangy lemony flavor. It's often used to replace vinegar in countries where they don't use fermented products. So these three are really the basic ingredients for a basic za'atar. Depending the way you're going to use your za'atar, there are a few additional herbs, which is dried oregano, dried marjoram, dried savory and dried coriander leaf. Savory and oregano are a little bit more used than marjoram and coriander leaf. Coriander leaf doesn't resist very well to heat. It loses the flavor very quickly when cooked, but this is really a great mix to use as a finishing spice, or mix it with some olive oil to use on your salad with some lemon or lime juice. When it comes to proportions, the three basic ones are mostly used in equal proportion, and as it comes to additional herbs, you can play a little bit with the proportions, and that's going to give you very different flavors. That's where you find that every restaurant or family has its different recipe for za'atar. They mostly play with the proportions, which changes the flavors from one za'atar to another. Don't hesitate to experiment with these spices. It is a great game changer in your cooking. And to ground your spices, I highly recommend you to use a grinder like a coffee grinder or a spice grinder, and even better a mortar and pestle, and you'll be sure to get the most out of your spices. If you got whole spices, you can also toast them lightly in the beginning, although some seeds are a little bit more sensible to heat. To give you an example, you don't toast mustard seeds the same time as you do with black peppercorns, and that is the same for the grains of the cardamom. I hope you enjoyed the video and it was useful for you. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and hit that bell. It's a great motivation for me. And as this story ends, my dear friends, all that's left to say, bon appetit and see you back soon.